Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope you're doing great. One, this still looks crooked to me. I don't know how to fix it, but I go to it and it doesn't look crooked. So that's fun. Two, my car's neighbor is on. I think they are leaving, but also I don't know why you would have your car on wasting gasoline. Gasoline is expensive here right now. Okay, it's not cheap here. So I don't know why you would want to waste it. I think they're just leaving, so we were going to have the car noise for a couple more seconds, hopefully just seconds, and they're leaving now because I hear doors closing. They might be going to the beach though. It is a very sunny and beautiful day, honestly, to be going to the beach today. It's a pretty good Sunday for that. They're leaving now. There we go. I think they were just getting everything ready to go to the beach. It is a pretty day to be doing that, honestly, but they just wasted gasoline having that car on for a good few minutes. So for today we have another review video. I have been doing a couple of these videos for a few Saturdays, but I keep seeing stuff and I keep making videos about it, so that's why. And also this one is going to be very similar to how I did a Squid Games video, because there is 2 seasons for this series already on Netflix, and I didn't make a video of the first season, so I'm just gonna do one for both. The series that I'm talking about is called Hellbound. There's 2 seasons, like I said, on Netflix. The first one came out on November 19 of 2021, and then on October 25 of 2024 was that the second season came out, and both of them have 6 episodes. This is a Korean series. The episodes on both seasons are not that long, okay? They're like less than an hour, but there is a lot of information thrown at you, so you might want to pay attention a bit for the most part, otherwise you will get lost. And this is actually based on a webtoon. It has the same name by Yeon San-ho and Choi Kyu-suk, that's how you say their name, and they also wrote and directed this series, which is what usually happens when it is based on a webtoon. I watched this a while back. I did watch the first season when it came out, absolutely loved it. Second season it took me a bit to watch because I was scared of, usually when there's a second season is when everything goes downhill, sometimes, not always, and I was scared that this was going to happen with this one, especially with how long the second season took. But good thing is it's still as good as the first one, so I'm making a video about it now. 2 things that I do want to say before I start talking about the series. One, you will see a change of character if you see the both seasons, you decide to see the series. There is this character throughout both seasons that is called Jinsu. There are different actors for both seasons. Season 1, the actor was Yoo In, but things happened with that actor and for season 2 they casted Kim Sun Chol, butchering his name, sorry, for the character of Jinsu. And I'm pretty sure season 2 took a while because not only they were recasting another actor for that character, but also they probably had to record a few things from season 1 that were important for season 2. So it doesn't surprise me that the second season took a while to come out if they were working with all of this. Number 2, this series has a lot to do with religion. If it's something that you don't like, you don't have to watch this video, watch this series. If it makes you uncomfortable, you don't have to either. If you're still interested, then maybe watching this video is going to help you decide if you want to see the whole both seasons or not. But it is heavily religion based. Talk a lot about the Bible, demons, hell, heaven, sins, stuff like that. So I just want to make that note here and now before starting talking about everything, because if it's something that you're not comfortable hearing or seeing, this series might not be for you. But if you're still interested and want to see if you are still interested, even if you like that topic, maybe watching this video will help you. Just like Squid Games, how I did that video, I will be talking about season 1, tell you my opinion on it, season 2, my opinion on everything, and done. I'm not going to be talking about the whole thing. This series is there's a lot to it, so I'm just gonna be focusing on the basic stuff, just like I did with Squid Games. because if I go into everything, we're gonna be here for at least a year, and we don't want that. So I'm gonna tell you the basic story of season 1. So there is this thing happening to people that they are calling decrees. It's basically where a face of an angel appears in front of you, and they are going to tell you that you are bound to hell and that you're going to die at this specific time. It can be seconds, hours, days, years, whatever. It can be like you're gonna die in like 20 years in this date at this specific time, and that just means that you are going to hell essentially. When the times arrive that you are going to die, there is these 3 demons that they call executors. They're going to appear, they're going to cut you, hit you a bit, and then burn you and take you to hell with them. And all this section of the demons appearing, hitting you, burning you, they're calling it demonstrations. There is 2 main organizations in this first season specifically. You have a cult-like organization that is called the New Truth Society. There we go. And it is formed by Jinsu, and there is a gang-like organization. They're just gang on it. They're very violent. Called Arrowhead, which they gain power by playing with people, with everything happening. And technically the leader is Don Wook. But he's just the leader because he makes a lot of live streaming about everything happening. But you can kind of think of him as the leader of the Arrowhead. The first season, the story, you can divide it into 2 parts. You have the first 3 episodes are like the introduction and the story of how everything happened, and it mainly focuses on a detective called Kyun Hoon, and he's investigating the whole demonstration things happening, and he really doesn't believe in the whole religion thing of heaven, hell, and all of that. You also have Jinsu, that is the one that created the New Truth Society. Basically, he's framing the demonstrations as a bad thing, and that only sinners are getting these decrees and are going to hell. So he forms that society to be like, you need to ask for forgiveness for all the sins that you did, so you don't get that decree and you can live your life without any sins. And he's sort of controlling people with that in a way, and he also making people live in fear 24/7, because if you sin you might get that decree, however you say it, and go to hell essentially. And you also have Hyejin. She is an attorney, and she helps Kyun Hoon throughout the whole first season to investigate and all of that. You can also add Don Wook, the one that is sort of the leader in the Arrowhead, but honestly he's a streamer. He usually streams throughout the whole first season. He is just violent. Arrowhead in general, I say it's a gang because they are just violent. They do believe in hell and everything that is happening, but they believe that people need to confess their sins so they don't go to hell. I guess that they're very kind of like, we're following the new truth but our own way, you know, like if you don't confess your sin, we are killing you ourselves. That type of a thing. Doesn't make sense. But yeah, they're not as important, honestly. Season 1 and Season 2, they're more there for the violence part of stuff and make you laugh when he appears live stream, because he is very crazy when he appears live streaming. So that's one thing. But they do attack a few of the characters and all that, like Hyejin. The point of the first 3 episodes, again, is to tell you the beginning of everything. The story of everything started. You got Jinsu with the cult, like the New Truth, and at some point he wanted the people to believe him even more. So they bring out a woman called Jongja. She got a decree that she was going to die in a couple of hours, and he wanted to televise her demonstration so people could see that it's real when it's happening. She does have 2 children that Hyejin does they go far away. I think she sent them to Canada or something like that, to a family of hers, to protect them, because at some point they wanted to take her children as a way to obligate her, like, if you don't do it, we are killing your children or doing bad things to them. So Hyejin does take them away, so they don't have to like leave or see anything that's going to happen to Yeonja. And it does happen. They do tell her, I said she does go to hell. The demons does appear and burn her in front of everybody, and after that was that people change their life, of the way of living, I should say, because they saw that it is true. So a few things you need to know from these first 3 episodes. One, Jinsu gives the new truth to someone called Yeonchil. He's a follower and not entirely sure or remembering fully why he gave it to him, but he did. He is sort of a follower, so again, it sort of makes sense. He does have this recording, which I think had to do with this. He had a recording of Jinsu talking about him getting a decree, which is something that nobody knew at all. And this was a recording that Hyejin wanted to have, because she wanted to show to people like, hey, him that is telling you that you need to forgive yourself for your sins and you're not going to hell, got a degree, he's going to hell, so he has definitely sinned. He's not pure and going to heaven. But he does. Yeonchil is the one that has that recording. So I'm pretty sure they just made some kind of deal of, I'm not going to give anybody this recording if you give me the new through society. I'm pretty sure that's what happened there. Hyejin does die here when she was trying to get the recording from Yeonchil. He was sort of working with the arrowhead, I'm guessing, to protect him, and the arrowhead got there to attack her and leave her dead on the dirt. And then you have Kyunhon and Jinsu. What ends up happening is they are in this abandoned school and they're talking, and Jinsu is like telling him that he got a decree like 20 years ago that he was going to die that same day, time, everything. And he was giving Kyunhon options: either you record this and show it to everybody and you destroy the world that I created for you, or you don't say anything and just stand there and watch and you go back to your daughter at your house and done. But Kyunhun, what he does is he doesn't say anything. He just watches everything and then just goes back to the apartment and hugs his daughter and be like, everything's fine. Jinsu is now in hell. That's what you need to know. So those are technically the first 3 episodes. A lot, right? Not really. A lot more happens. That is like very compacted into a few paragraphs. So from episode 4 to 6 is 5 years after everything that happened in the first 3 episodes. This one, Yeonchil is still the leader of the New Truth, and now he's live streaming the demonstrations, so people still believe that they're going to hell if they sin, and he's, you know, keeping controlling the people and all of that. And now the story focuses on 2 more characters, Yeonjae and So-hyun. Yeonjae works in a broadcasting station that the New Truth wants to use to broadcast on a larger scale the demonstrations and commercials for them. What the fuck? But they do that, and Yeonjae really doesn't believe in the whole demonstration and hell thing. He's very against them using the broadcast station to do that, but everybody around is like, we're gonna do it because they are, you know, the real deal, that kind of a thing. But he and So-hyun are having a baby. She does have the baby, and when the baby is born, that she's going to see it, you know, he's there. The baby's getting a decree. The angel is literally right there telling the baby that it's going to die, I think in 3-4 days. Which again doesn't make sense, because the reason why a person gets the angel telling them they're going to hell, is because they sin at some point, and a baby that was just born a couple of hours ago shouldn't be getting a decree. What kind of sin? She becomes very ill with it, because she's like, did I give birth to a sinner baby? And I'm here like, no, it's just sinners are not going to hell, anybody can go to hell. Okay, so you know, in a way showing that this whole system of sinners going to hell only is kind of broken. Hyejin is alive, by the way. You need to know that she didn't die in the first 3 episodes. She survived. She's now part of an organization called Sodo. What they do is they find people that got decrees that are bound to hell, and because they know the new truth, are using their bodies and showing it to people and all of that. They contact these people and be like, go to this place, you are going to go to hell either way, but we are going to take your body with us so the new truth cannot use you to, you know, display you to people to see you. Essentially, that's what they do. So when Hyejin gets to know that there's a baby that got a decree, she does talk to Yeonjae about live streaming it to show people like, hey, a baby got a decree, a baby that hasn't sinned, that just came out of a person a few hours ago. He's not really happy with this at first, but things happen and Hyejin starts protecting them because the new truth wants the baby, because again, it's not good for them that a baby got a decree. It doesn't go with what they have been saying to people. Hyejin is able to take them to this apartment building and protect them there, but at the end, again, they're in the building complex thing apartment, and the new truth is there, the arrowhead are there, kind of trying to take the baby away, and Soohyun escapes and she gets into the patio part of the building and she starts screaming. She's like, hey everybody, come out, look at this, my baby got a decree, he's going to die in a couple of minutes, it doesn't make sense, it's a baby, all this stuff. The demons thing appear. Jeonjae and Soohyun are sort of trying to protect the baby the best they can, but they still are able to burn him, and what ends up happening is both of them go to hell, but Hyejin is able to hear the baby cry, so the baby didn't go to hell, and she's able to take the baby without people noticing that much and get out before the new truth or the arrowhead are able to get her, and she just goes out. And then the first season ends with Yeonja and Jinsu coming back from hell. Literally, you can see their body just becoming human again with flesh and everything after they have been burned. So that's how the first season ends, and what it is. Again, it's more complex than that, okay? There's a lot more into it. When I saw this season, I absolutely loved it. Yes, it does have to do with religion and all that, but there is this mysterious, there's thriller, there's even a little bit of horror here and there. Nothing to scare you, but it is there. Honestly, the only thing is the arrowhead are really not that important. Again, they're there to make you laugh when he's live streaming, and the violent part of stuff. That's basically it. Other than that, they don't do much, only at the end when they are attacking and stuff like that, but other than that, not that important. The jump in time was a little bit weird, but again, it's telling you that after everything, humanity has changed to try and live. They're living in fear 24/7 because they don't know if they have sinned and they're going to go to hell. Other than that, it's really good. Now, it took a time to season 2 to be announced. Again, I'm guessing it has to do with the whole change of actors and having to reshoot a few scenes that were going to be needed for season 2 and all of that, so it's fine. But it took a while because again, it was like 2-3 years later that season 2 came out. It was very good that they were able to do season 2 because you were left with a lot of questions, especially what's going to happen now that Jeonja and Jinsu are back from hell. That's like the main question I was left with. Let's talk about season 2 very quickly. I said quickly, but I have way too many notes for season 2, honestly. But I'll go through it as quickly as I can. Season 2. The first episode, technically almost all of it, is about Jinsu and him coming back from hell. All we're seeing is him reliving these other lives from other people, like his father, his mom's new boyfriend, that type of people. He's sort of reliving that, so in a way you can kind of see it as that being his hell, But after he leaves all of that, is that he comes back from hell in the same place as season 1, so in the same abandoned school essentially. In the season 2, Yeonchil is still managing the new truth. He's losing control of everything in a way, and now he's working with the government to get it back. The government here is represented by one person specifically, and her name is Sugyun is her name. So whenever she appears, think of her as the government. Essentially, there's more people behind her, but every time she appears, it's like government. So now the government is involved. Whenever they're involved, it's not good. We do learn that he does have Yeoncha. Oh my god, I can never say her name. But he has had her trapped inside the building for years. Okay, we do know that she came back from hell at the end of season 1. So he has had her for a couple of years. There she doesn't talk or anything like that. But the government wants to use her to get control. They basically want her to be the new god in a way. Arrowhead are the same as season 1, maybe more violent. They're not as important also. It's this almost whole episode about this woman being the new leader of Arrowhead, and this whole thing, honestly, in this season the Arrowhead are not really that important. One thing that I didn't, one character that I didn't think was going to come back is Kyunhoon. He does appear in this season at the very beginning. He's more there to help Hyejin find Jinsu and what happened to him. So there is this point where they are talking in front of a river, and he's telling her like, hey, he was bound to hell, he did go to hell. If Yeonja is back, he's probably back as well. Season 2 again is mainly the government being more involved with everybody, not only the New Truth but Arrowhead, the solo group, even they're everywhere trying to use everybody for them to be able to have control again. Essentially, I'm just gonna tell you how everything ends for everybody, and I think that's gonna be easier to understand than to tell you the story as it goes. Okay, I think that's gonna be a tiny bit more easy. So first you have Kyunhoon. Not much happens with him. The Sado does protect him from everything when everything is burning down. At the end, when he tells them about Jinsu and all of that, the New Truth, they get wiped by everybody. Okay, essentially Sugyun, again the government, was using them, and Yeonchil just fell for it. Again, they were trying to play Chonja as the new god for people. At the end, the government didn't even help Yeonchil when the Arrowhead were there about to kill him. She really didn't care about him. I think at that point he was like, oh, I fucked up, essentially. What they tried to do was, again, using Yeonja as their new god. But it felt Hyejin and the other people were there, and they're able to take her away and protect her, and Yeonchil just does die in the hands of the Arrowhead because Jinsu told them to. And this season Jinsu is using the Arrowhead for his own selfishness. After Yeonchil dies, the New Truth is not really mentioned at all. Jinsu's part it's longer than usual because there's a lot that happens with him. So he comes back to life, right? And during this whole time he is seeing the same demons that are executors that get you and burn you to hell throughout this whole thing. And he's trying to find Yeonja to talk to her and see if she has figured out why they're still seeing the demons and they're still following them. He used the Arrowhead to get into the New Truth building, like kill Yeonchil, all of that stuff. When he finally gets to talk to Yeonja about him still seeing the executors, the demons and all of that, she's like, that's not true. I'm not seeing anything at all. There's this mirror because they are in like a parking lot, and there's this mirror that she's looking at. There's no executors, there's no demons following her. She's like, what was your hell? Because this wasn't the same as me, essentially. So Yeonja starts talking about this being her second chance to be better, And in an example, when she didn't do anything that the new truth was telling her to, it was her way of her taking this second chance to be a better person. When it comes to Jinsu, he was still doing the same stuff from before in season 1, being very selfish, using people for his convenience in a way, and doing whatever he wanted to and all of that. So he hasn't changed at all, and that's probably why he was still seeing the demons and she wasn't. So at the end, he became a monster, he became an executor, he became a demon. The huge thing, he became one with them. It was this whole thing that happened in the parking lot because the Arrowhead were there live streaming everything. So they live streamed him becoming an executor from hell. He became an executor and went straight to hell. Done. So in a way, in season 2, he didn't change at all. And also meaning that the monsters from season 1, the executors that we have been seeing from season 1 until now, means they are humans. They are definitely humans that are going back to hell. You know, these are humans that went to hell, came back, because they didn't take this second chance to be a better person that they were before, they became executors. That's what happened with Jinsu. So with Yeonja and Hyejin, I'm putting them together because it technically overlaps a bit. So Solo really in season 2 it's more of the good side. There's still few of them started working with the government, but for the most part they're all trying to do the good thing, and it is saving Yeonja. So with Hyejin, what ends up happening is she does save Yeonja from a new truth. All of that happens, and she has this fight with a guy that was working for the government in this young jar, I think it was, that they were fighting. And she went. The baby from season 1 is alive, by the way. It's a girl, and she had her in this abandoned building washing her and all of that. And at the end, she takes her out for the first time on a trip because Yeonja tells her that the war is going to end very soon and that she should do everything that she wanted to do. So she decides to take the child out for the first time and go on a trip and all of that. With Yeonja, what ends up happening is she comes back from hell, the neutral is using her, Hyejin saves her, all of that. She has been able to predict at this point when a character is going to die. Essentially what she does is, like, you're going to die seeing birds around you. That's what happens. Because with Yeonchil, that's technically what happened actually. She tells him, when you die, you're going to see birds. And when he's dying, he's laying on a table, and on the ceiling there is a painting of birds, and that's when he knew, oh, I am going to die here because she told me that was going to happen. With Hyejin, what's happening is that she tells her that she's going to die when there is an ice cream truck, and when they are in the junkyard, Hyejin noticed ice cream truck there. That's how she was able to save herself in a way, because instead of dying, she was able to not get shot by the bullet. Don't ask me how, but that happens. So Yeonja is able to predict things, but at the end, after the whole fight that happens in the junkyard and all of that, there's a spell person that comes to take her, and then we later realize that it is her son that is all grown up. He's I think he's a teenager, that is taking her back home with her other child. So that's what happens. 2 more things you need to know for season 2 to end. 1, people at the end get a decree. There is this massive decree happening to pretty much everybody in the world, where people are getting a lot of angels in front of them being like, you're about to hell, you are going to die X amount of time, things like that. That is happening. So it feels like how the world is going to die and go to hell, essentially. And 2 is that in season 1, when the baby was protected by the parents and the parents got burned but not the baby, the Hyejin hears the baby cry and takes her. We are shown that the baby did go to hell. Okay, the baby did go to hell, was there for a couple of seconds, and then came back from hell, and that's when Hyejin heard the baby cry. You can kind of think look of it as the baby still having the same abilities as Yeonja, but he's a baby, so it wouldn't know. Now I will say the little girl during the second season was very weird, was acting a little bit weird, so I don't know if that is indication that the baby does have a ability that Hyejin hasn't noticed or anything like that. But the baby coming back from hell definitely indicates that the child might have abilities like Yeonja, but he's a child, so you can also think of it as the first one to come back from hell. So that's basically it. Again, more things happened, but I'm keeping it very short and sweet, otherwise we're gonna be here forever. This season was really good. Again, it took me a while to see because I was scared of seeing it. Season 2 usually is when things go downhill and it gets fucked up, but this one, no, this second season was very good. It definitely answered a bunch of questions. It was very quick, lots of things happened, so it was good. You can take a few things from season 2, honestly. One of them can be that what we do is important, and Jinsu and Yeonja are example for it. You know, you got Yeonja, that because she took the second chance to be a better person, demons weren't following her anymore and she became a better person. You have Jinsu, kept being his old self, he still went to hell, and worse because he became insecure. So there's a little bit there. You also got the new through controlling people because of, you know, saying that if you say you go to hell and all of that, they are heavy in violence as ever. So they're kind of telling you that people can shift a thing for their own convenience, and people can use that to make you think different things, and why it is important for you to have your own conclusions and believe what you want to believe, and also not believe everything that everybody's saying to you. You can also take a lot of these organizations, things that are happening that way. Again, this series is really good. Again, if you don't mind the whole religion thing being the focus on it, I would highly suggest it. It is very good. As far as the season 3, I don't know, there haven't been any announcements. Season 2 took a while to announce, but we will see. Honestly, things were answered with season 2, so I don't think a season 3 is very necessary, but I will tell you a few questions that I was left with after watching season 2, that if there is a season 3, it might appear, we will see. But one of them is a little girl. Again, we know she survived going to hell. She did went to hell and came back in seconds. So again, it gives the question if she has the same abilities as Yeonja. And she went on the trip with Hyejin. She took her, so we are led to believe what's going to happen with the little girl when she grows up. If she's going to have the same abilities, if she's going to become this new god, or if she's going to be representing more of the hell and living in the world. You never know, but that's one thing that we are gonna leave questions with. You have Yeonja. She is going back to her children at the end, but again, she has this ability that can make her the new god in the world. We don't know if there is a season 3, she's going to have a bigger part because of her abilities or not, so that is something else. Why her with these abilities, all of that, those things weren't answered completely. And you also have the end of the world. Yeonja does say that the world is going to end, and the world got those big decrees happening at the same time at the end. So what is going to happen? Everybody's going to die at some point, because some of them got hours, seconds, minutes, years that they're going to die and go to hell. So what is going to happen when everybody started going to hell? I don't know if the webtoon after this has more of the story, so if you have seen the webtoon or something, you might know if there is going to probably be a season 3 or not. But honestly, I don't think it's necessary. For the most part, everything was answered, and everybody got the ending that they needed to get, in my opinion, for the story to be end. And all of that. That is Hellbound for everybody. This was a journey. I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but that was a journey. I feel like this is a very complicated series, honestly, compared to Squid Games. If anybody has seen this, please let me know what you think of this series. Did you like it? What are your thoughts of it? Let me know in the comments below. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing great, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye bye.